and me kind of had that same thing before, but Ashley just kind of feel like she by herself, and I felt that same thing.
I want this to end. I am tired of this.
About now you want to get your family back? You chased me for a year. That's that.
What the? Like a moth to a flame, burned by desire. That ain't gonna work.
So is there an issue based on what was said?
I'm saying,
The issue is, after our sit down, I gave you my word that I wasn't gonna say anything.
You were asking for this information for a reason.
But Bambi, I didn't ask the information. You
absolutely asked the information.
About him texting you?
Yes.
Okay.
But these inappropriate text messages between you and Scrappy, I'm starting to think you are playing a role in it. It takes two to tango. And I definitely believe that the two of them are tangoing in those texts.
Your ex-wife that you talk hell about, now you want to get back together. Like, what the kind of weird is you on? Like,
that's some weird.
That's some weird. I hate that this conversation has to be had in front of everybody.
That's some
but
weird.
That's weird as
That's weird.
That's weird as it really is.
I think you did.
Nobody on that trip expected things to explode that fast, but the second Bambi locked eyes with Lil Scrappy at that luxury mountain resort, the tension was already thick enough to cut with a knife. Cameras were rolling, drinks were flowing, and everybody thought this little getaway was supposed to fix the growing cracks inside the family. Instead, it turned into what insiders are now calling the most chaotic trip in reality TV history. And somehow, just when people thought it could not get worse, Mama D stepped in and poured gasoline all over the fire. Witnesses claimed the entire nightmare started during a private dinner after Ashley allegedly exposed text messages that left Bambi completely blindsided. The table reportedly went silent before screaming erupted across the restaurant. Plates crashed. Security rushed in. One producer was even heard yelling, "Cut the cameras," while other cast members stood frozen in total disbelief. Fans are shocked after rumors spread online that Lil Scrappy may have been hiding secret conversations behind both women's backs during the trip. But that was only the beginning. Sources close to the cast say Ashley completely lost her patience after Scrappy laughed during a heated argument, and that single moment sent both women absolutely nuclear. Emotions ran high as accusations started flying about betrayal, manipulation, and years of disrespect that had apparently been building behind closed doors. The family was left divided almost instantly. Some defended Scrappy, while others claimed he had finally pushed everybody too far. Then came the moment nobody saw coming. Mama D allegedly stormed into the middle of the fight screaming that Bambi never respected the family, and the atmosphere turned toxic within seconds. Guests nearby reportedly pulled out phones while producers desperately tried to separate everybody before things became physical. By the end of the night, tears were falling, friendships were shattered, and fans online were already calling this the darkest family meltdown they had ever witnessed. The second everybody arrived at the private mountain villa, the energy already felt strange. Nobody was laughing naturally, nobody was relaxed, and even the production crew noticed that something felt completely off between Bambi and Lil Scrappy. What was supposed to be a peaceful luxury couples trip instantly started feeling like a setup the moment Ashley pulled Bambi aside near the infinity pool and whispered something that made her entire expression change. Witnesses claimed Bambi froze for almost 5 seconds straight before slowly turning her head toward Scrappy, who was standing across the patio laughing with friends like nothing was wrong. Ashley allegedly showed her screenshots that nobody else was supposed to see. According to people close to the situation, the messages were recent, flirty, and embarrassing enough to completely ruin the entire trip before dinner had even started. Bambi reportedly tried to stay calm at first because cameras were everywhere and she did not want to look emotional in front of the group, but insiders said the anger in her eyes was impossible to hide. One producer later claimed you could literally feel the temperature change around the villa after that moment. Scrappy had no idea what was happening until he walked back inside and noticed everybody suddenly acting awkward around him. Ashley stopped speaking. Bambi refused to even look at him. Even the friends who normally joked around with Scrappy started slowly drifting away from him like they did not want to get caught in whatever storm was coming. Then came dinner, and that was when everything completely exploded. The group sat around a massive candlelit table overlooking the mountains while tension quietly built with every passing second. At first the conversation stayed normal. People talked about drinks, the villa, old memories, and relationship jokes. Scrappy kept trying to act funny, but Bambi barely answered him. Ashley sat there sipping her wine in silence while staring directly at Scrappy every few minutes. One cast member later admitted they already knew somebody was about to snap because nobody at the table could even focus on eating anymore. Suddenly Scrappy made a joke about loyalty that instantly set Bambi off. She slowly put her fork down, leaned back in her chair, and asked him if he really wanted to talk about loyalty in front of everybody. The entire table went dead silent. Scrappy looked confused at first before nervously laughing and asking what she meant. But Bambi was already too angry to stop. She allegedly pulled out her phone, waved it in the air, and asked him why another woman had been texting him during the trip while he was sitting there pretending to be a perfect man. Everybody at the table started looking around in shock while Scrappy immediately denied everything. Ashley then jumped in and said, "Stop lying because we already saw the messages." Witnesses claimed Scrappy's face changed instantly after hearing that. The confidence disappeared, the smiling stopped, and for the first time all night, he looked genuinely nervous. Emotions ran high as Bambi accused him of humiliating her repeatedly while acting innocent every time he got caught. Scrappy kept insisting the messages were harmless, but nobody at the table believed him anymore. Ashley allegedly told him that the messages sounded like a man trying to keep multiple women emotionally attached at the same time. Scrappy then slammed his hands on the table and shouted that everybody was twisting the story against him. That was the exact moment the entire dinner spiraled into chaos. Bambi stood up so fast her chair nearly tipped over. One glass shattered on the floor while security outside rushed toward the dining area after hearing screaming. Fans are shocked after insiders claimed Bambi started exposing private details about their relationship that nobody expected to hear publicly. She accused Scrappy of constantly disrespecting her behind closed doors while begging for sympathy in front of cameras. Some people at the table tried calming her down, but years of frustration were suddenly pouring out all at once. Ashley then made things worse by revealing that this was apparently not the first time women had contacted them about Scrappy's behavior. Scrappy exploded after hearing that accusation and yelled that Ashley was intentionally trying to destroy his relationship for attention. Ashley fired back immediately and called him manipulative. The shouting became so loud that nearby guests reportedly started recording videos from outside the restaurant windows. Producers desperately tried stopping the argument, but nobody could control the situation anymore. Then Scrappy made the mistake that pushed Bambi completely over the edge. While she was crying and yelling about betrayal, he suddenly laughed. Not because anything was funny, according to him, but because he was frustrated and overwhelmed. Unfortunately, that laugh instantly made everybody at the table turn against him. Bambi looked absolutely stunned before screaming that he always laughed whenever women were hurting because he never took accountability for anything. Ashley backed her up immediately and accused him of gaslighting everybody in the room. One friend reportedly whispered, "This is getting dark," because even production members started panicking. Scrappy tried defending himself, but every word only made the situation worse. Bambi accused him of making her feel crazy for months while secretly entertaining attention from other women. Ashley claimed multiple people already warned them about Scrappy before the trip even started. The family was left divided almost instantly. Some friends quietly defended Scrappy and insisted the messages were being exaggerated, while others believed Bambi had finally reached her breaking point after years of emotional exhaustion. Then right in the middle of the screaming match, one black SUV suddenly pulled into the villa driveway. And the second the front door opened, everybody inside froze after realizing Mama D had just arrived unannounced. Mama D stepped out of the vehicle wearing a long fur coat and oversized sunglasses even though it was nearly midnight, and the second she walked through those villa doors she immediately sensed the chaos in the air. Producers rushed toward her trying to calm the situation before she entered the dining room, but it was already too late. She heard Bambi screaming from across the house and instantly marched toward the noise demanding to know who was disrespecting her son. Witnesses claimed the atmosphere changed within seconds because everybody knew Mama D never entered drama quietly. The second she walked into that dining area and saw Bambi crying while Scrappy stood there furious and red-faced, she immediately chose sides without asking a single question. Emotions ran high as she pointed directly at Ashley and shouted that outsiders were always trying to poison relationships for attention. Ashley looked stunned before firing back that nobody needed to poison anything because Scrappy had already done enough damage himself. The room exploded again. One producer later admitted this was the exact moment they realized the trip was completely beyond saving. Mama D reportedly slammed her purse onto the table and demanded to see the so-called evidence everybody kept talking about. Bambi tried explaining how disrespected she felt, but Momma D cut her off mid-sentence and accused her of always attacking Scrappy instead of supporting him. That comment instantly pushed Bambi into another emotional spiral. She shouted that she spent years protecting Scrappy's image while he embarrassed her over and over again behind closed doors. Nearby guests outside the private dining room could allegedly hear the screaming echoing through the entire villa. Fans are shocked after insiders claimed one camera operator actually walked away from filming because the tension became too uncomfortable to stand near. Scrappy meanwhile looked completely overwhelmed as two women defended him while two others attacked him at the exact same time. Instead of calming the argument down, he allegedly made another terrible mistake by snapping at Bambi to stop acting like a victim in front of everybody. The entire room gasped. Ashley immediately stood up and yelled that he was proving every accusation right in real time. Bambi looked emotionally shattered after hearing those words. Witnesses claimed tears streamed down her face while she accused Scrappy of constantly minimizing her pain whenever cameras were present. Momma D then inserted herself directly into the middle of the argument again by yelling that Bambi was too emotional and dramatic to handle a real relationship. The family was left divided as several people at the villa tried pulling Momma D aside while others begged Bambi not to leave the trip entirely. But things only became uglier from there. Ashley suddenly revealed that another woman allegedly contacted her privately days before the trip warning them about Scrappy's behavior. The second those words left her mouth, Scrappy completely lost control. He started pacing around the dining room screaming that everybody was conspiring against him and trying to ruin his reputation publicly. One wine bottle reportedly crashed against the kitchen counter during the meltdown while producers screamed for security to move closer. Momma D defended Scrappy aggressively and accused Ashley of manufacturing fake stories because she enjoyed seeing families torn apart. Ashley refused to back down. She allegedly pulled out her phone again and threatened to read private messages out loud in front of everybody if Scrappy kept lying. Suddenly all the confidence disappeared from his face again. Witnesses claimed he stopped yelling immediately and started begging her privately not to expose everything on camera. That reaction alone made several people in the room believe there was far more truth to the accusations than Scrappy wanted anyone to know. Bambi looked heartbroken watching the entire scene unfold. Insiders later claimed she quietly whispered wow after realizing Scrappy seemed more worried about exposure than about fixing the relationship itself. Emotions ran high as she accused him of caring more about public image than loyalty. One cast member reportedly started crying because the situation felt less like entertainment and more like a real family collapse happening in front of cameras. But the night became even darker after Momma D suddenly turned her anger directly toward Bambi in the most personal way possible. She allegedly shouted that Scrappy's life became chaotic the moment Bambi entered it and accused her of constantly bringing negativity into the family. The room instantly erupted again. Bambi looked absolutely stunned before asking Momma D how she could defend toxic behavior so blindly just because it involved her son. Momma D screamed back that a mother protects her child no matter what. Ashley then jumped between them because she genuinely believed the argument was seconds away from becoming physical. Security moved closer while producers begged everybody to separate into different rooms, but nobody listened anymore. Scrappy attempted calming his mother down, but she ignored him completely and continued accusing Bambi of disrespecting the family for years. Meanwhile, several friends started comforting Bambi, who reportedly kept repeating that she felt emotionally exhausted and humiliated. Fans online later exploded after rumors spread that production nearly shut filming down because the situation became too volatile. Then came another shocking twist nobody expected. While everybody argued inside the dining room, one of Scrappy's friends quietly pulled Ashley aside near the staircase and allegedly admitted that Scrappy had been hiding far more than text messages during the trip. Ashley's entire expression changed instantly. She reportedly asked if he was serious before the friend nervously nodded and warned her that another woman might actually be staying nearby at the resort. The second Ashley heard that information, she turned around and stared directly at Scrappy across the room while Bambi continued crying in the background. And according to witnesses, the look on Ashley's face in that moment terrified everybody nearby because it was clear she had just discovered something even worse than the messages. Ashley wasted almost no time confronting Scrappy after hearing the rumor. Witnesses claimed she stormed straight across the villa with her phone clenched in her hand while producers chased behind her begging her not to escalate things further. But by then the damage was already done. Bambi was emotionally drained, Momma D was still yelling from the dining room, and Scrappy looked completely trapped as Ashley suddenly demanded to know who was staying at the resort under a fake reservation name. The second those words came out, the entire house froze again. Scrappy looked stunned before immediately denying everything, but according to insiders his reaction only made people more suspicious. Ashley accused him of secretly bringing another woman near the trip while pretending he wanted peace with Bambi. Emotions ran high as Bambi slowly lifted her head and stared at Scrappy in disbelief, almost like she was hoping the accusation was too ridiculous to be true. Instead of answering clearly, Scrappy allegedly kept asking who started the rumor and why everybody suddenly believed random stories over him. That response only made Ashley angrier. She shouted that innocent people answer questions directly while guilty people panic about sources. Several cast members nearby reportedly started whispering among themselves because even they noticed Scrappy avoiding the actual accusation. Fans are shocked after insiders claimed one producer quietly told security to prepare for possible physical altercations because the tension inside the villa had reached a dangerous level. Then everything spiraled even further after Ashley revealed that the mystery woman supposedly checked into a nearby luxury cabin only hours before the group arrived. Bambi looked completely crushed hearing that information. Witnesses claimed she sat down slowly on the staircase like her legs suddenly stopped working. One friend attempted comforting her, but she allegedly pushed everybody away while staring blankly at the floor. Scrappy meanwhile exploded again and accused Ashley of intentionally trying to destroy his entire life on camera. MOMMA D rushed to defend him immediately, yelling that nobody had proof of anything and that jealous people always targeted successful men. Ashley fired back that women were tired of being called jealous anytime they exposed disrespectful behavior. The family was left divided as screaming once again echoed through the villa walls. Nearby hotel guests reportedly gathered outside trying to understand why security guards were suddenly blocking certain areas of the property. Inside the house, producers desperately tried separating people into different rooms, but nobody wanted to calm down. Then came the moment that allegedly changed the entire night forever. One production assistant quietly approached Ashley and handed her another phone. Witnesses claimed Ashley looked confused at first before reading something on the screen that made her jaw completely drop. She slowly looked up at Scrappy and asked him one terrifying question. Why was his location pin showing near the private cabins earlier that afternoon when everybody thought he was at the spa? The room instantly exploded. Scrappy started shouting that somebody must have tracked his phone incorrectly, but almost nobody believed him anymore. Bambi reportedly burst into tears again while yelling that she felt stupid for defending him for so long. One cast member later admitted the heartbreak in her voice made several crew members emotional behind the cameras. Emotions ran high as Scrappy tried grabbing Bambi's arm to explain himself, but she pulled away immediately and screamed for him not to touch her. Ashley then accused him of manipulating women emotionally while pretending to be misunderstood every time he got caught. MOMMA D became furious hearing those accusations and allegedly threatened to throw Ashley out of the villa herself. Security quickly stepped between them because the argument was becoming dangerously intense. Meanwhile, Scrappy's friends started privately telling him he needed to admit the truth before things became even worse publicly. But instead of calming down, Scrappy reportedly doubled down and claimed everybody was turning against him unfairly. Fans online later exploded after rumors spread that producers briefly stopped filming because multiple cast members were having panic attacks during the chaos. But the drama reached another terrifying level after one of the resort workers accidentally revealed that a woman matching the description Ashley gave had actually been seen entering one of the private cabins earlier that evening. The second that information hit the room, Bambi completely lost it. Witnesses claimed she screamed so loudly that people outside the villa stopped walking and stared toward the windows. She allegedly accused Scrappy of humiliating her in front of the entire world while pretending to love her privately. Scrappy looked completely cornered as everybody around him demanded answers at the same time. MOMMA D continued defending him aggressively, insisting the entire situation was built on assumptions and gossip. But even some of Scrappy's closest friends reportedly started looking uncomfortable. Ashley then made another shocking accusation by claiming this was not the first secret trip situation connected to Scrappy. According to insiders, she hinted that similar behavior happened months earlier but was quietly covered up before reaching the public. The atmosphere turned dark instantly. Bambi looked emotionally broken while repeatedly asking how many lies she had been living through without knowing. One producer later admitted nobody expected the night to become this destructive emotionally. Then, just when people thought the situation could not possibly get any uglier, one black SUV suddenly pulled into the resort driveway again. Everybody inside the villa turned toward the massive front windows trying to see who had arrived at nearly 2 in the morning. Witnesses claimed Ashley's expression changed immediately after spotting the woman stepping out of the vehicle. And the second Bambi realized who was walking toward the villa entrance, she allegedly whispered "Oh my God" before covering her face with both hands. The entire villa went silent as the woman slowly walked toward the entrance surrounded by confused resort staff and nervous producers. Nobody expected anybody new to arrive that late, especially not during the middle of a full family breakdown already spiraling out of control. Witnesses claimed Scrappy's face instantly lost all color the second he recognized her. Bambi noticed his reaction immediately, and according to insiders that was the exact moment she realized the rumors might actually be true. Ashley stood near the staircase staring directly at the front door while several cast members whispered in total disbelief. Mama D kept demanding to know who the woman was, but nobody answered her fast enough. Then the villa doors opened. The woman allegedly stepped inside looking nervous, uncomfortable, and completely unprepared for the chaos waiting for her. Producers rushed toward her trying to block cameras while Scrappy started yelling that nobody should film this part. That reaction alone made the atmosphere even worse. Bambi reportedly started laughing through tears, the kind of painful laugh people make when they finally realize everything around them has been a lie. Emotions ran high as she looked directly at Scrappy and asked him if this was the reason he kept disappearing during the trip. The woman reportedly tried speaking, but before she could even finish one sentence, Mama D suddenly jumped in front of Scrappy screaming that nobody was about to ambush her son inside that house. Ashley fired back immediately and accused Mama D of protecting bad behavior instead of demanding honesty. The family was left divided again as different people started shouting over one another while producers begged everybody to lower their voices. Fans are shocked after insiders claimed nearby guests could hear screaming from outside the resort parking area. One witness even alleged that security considered contacting local authorities because the situation felt dangerously unstable. Inside the villa, Bambi finally confronted the woman directly and demanded to know how long she had been communicating with Scrappy. According to sources close to production, the woman hesitated before quietly admitting they had been talking for several weeks. The second those words came out, Bambi completely broke down emotionally. One friend immediately rushed over to comfort her while Ashley screamed at Scrappy for humiliating her publicly in the worst possible way. Scrappy kept insisting nothing physical happened, but nobody seemed willing to believe him anymore. Witnesses claimed even some producers looked shocked by how quickly the situation collapsed. Mama D then made everything 10 times worse by accusing Bambi of overreacting and acting like a victim for sympathy. That comment instantly pushed the entire room into another screaming match. Bambi reportedly shouted that she sacrificed years of emotional energy trying to protect somebody who clearly never respected her. Ashley backed her up and accused Scrappy of gaslighting every woman around him while pretending to be misunderstood. Emotions ran high as the mystery woman quietly stood near the doorway looking terrified by the chaos unfolding around her. One cast member later admitted the atmosphere inside that villa no longer felt like reality television. It felt like watching a family completely destroy itself in real time. Scrappy then attempted pulling the woman aside privately, but Bambi saw it happen and immediately exploded again. She accused him of caring more about hiding the situation than repairing the damage he caused. Witnesses claimed she threw a decorative pillow across the room while screaming that she was tired of being embarrassed repeatedly. Security moved closer again after producers noticed several people getting dangerously emotional. Meanwhile, Mama D continued defending Scrappy aggressively, insisting everybody was attacking him unfairly while ignoring his feelings completely. Ashley reportedly yelled back that his feelings stopped mattering the second he started lying to multiple women at once. Fans online later exploded after rumors spread that several friendships inside the cast were permanently damaged during that single night. But the chaos reached another unbelievable level after the mystery woman suddenly admitted she had no idea Bambi and Scrappy were seriously trying to fix their relationship during the trip. The room instantly went silent again. Bambi slowly turned toward Scrappy looking absolutely devastated. Witnesses claimed the heartbreak on her face made even production members emotional behind the cameras. Scrappy tried interrupting and claimed the woman misunderstood the situation, but Ashley immediately accused him of feeding different stories to different women depending on what benefited him most. Emotions ran high as Bambi started exposing private relationship details nobody expected her to reveal publicly. She accused Scrappy of constantly disappearing emotionally whenever problems appeared and then blaming everybody else for the fallout afterward. Several cast members reportedly started crying because the argument became painfully personal. Meanwhile, the mystery woman quietly apologized to BAMBI and insisted she never intended to hurt anybody. That apology only made the situation even more uncomfortable because it confirmed there had clearly been communication happening behind the scenes. Momma D then shocked everybody by accusing the woman of showing up intentionally for clout and attention. The woman immediately denied it and claimed production contacted her after hearing rumors about the messages. The second that information came out, Scrappy looked furious. Witnesses claimed he started yelling at producers, accusing them of setting him up for ratings and entertainment. Producers denied everything while trying desperately to keep cameras rolling through the chaos. BAMBI meanwhile looked emotionally exhausted beyond words. She reportedly sat quietly on the staircase again while staring into space as arguments continued around her. Ashley stayed beside her trying to calm her down while Momma D continued screaming from across the room. Then came the moment nobody expected. After hours of defending Scrappy nonstop, Momma D suddenly turned toward him and asked one brutal question in front of everybody. She demanded to know if he had actually lied to her too. And according to witnesses, the silence that followed was so heavy that you could hear glasses rattling in the kitchen nearby. Scrappy stood completely frozen after hearing his mother's question, and for the first time that entire night nobody heard a single excuse come out of his mouth. Witnesses claimed the silence inside the villa became painfully uncomfortable because everybody was waiting for him to finally tell the truth. Momma D stared directly at him with tears forming in her eyes while BAMBI remained motionless on the staircase looking emotionally drained beyond repair. Ashley folded her arms and waited quietly because even she seemed shocked that Momma D was finally questioning her own son publicly. Emotions ran high as Scrappy looked around the room searching for support, but almost everybody avoided eye contact. One producer later admitted that was the exact moment the power inside the room shifted completely against him. After several long seconds, Scrappy allegedly muttered that things got complicated and he never meant for the situation to spiral this far. The second those words came out, BAMBI slowly closed her eyes like her worst fears had just been confirmed. Witnesses claimed Ashley immediately looked away in frustration because she knew that was basically an admission without directly admitting everything. Momma D looked stunned. She reportedly whispered complicated before suddenly exploding again and demanding to know how her son allowed the entire family to become publicly humiliated like this. Fans are shocked after insiders claimed even security guards standing nearby looked uncomfortable watching the emotional collapse happen in real time. Scrappy tried defending himself by saying he felt pressured, confused, and emotionally trapped between different expectations, but nobody inside the villa wanted to hear explanations anymore. BAMBI finally stood up again and accused him of hiding behind confusion every single time he hurt somebody. Emotions ran high as she explained how exhausting it felt constantly questioning reality whenever Scrappy denied obvious behavior. Ashley backed her up immediately and claimed this entire trip exposed years of emotional manipulation nobody fully recognized before now. The family was left divided as some friends quietly sympathized with Scrappy while others believed BAMBI should walk away permanently after everything that happened. Meanwhile, the mystery woman remained near the doorway looking terrified and guilty at the same time. According to insiders, she allegedly apologized again before admitting Scrappy made her believe his relationship situation was far more distant and broken than it actually was. The second BAMBI heard that, she looked absolutely shattered. Witnesses claimed tears rolled down her face silently while she stared at Scrappy like she no longer recognized him at all. Momma D then turned her anger toward Scrappy fully for the first time all night and demanded to know why he kept embarrassing the family publicly. Scrappy reportedly shouted back that everybody always blamed him no matter what happened. That comment instantly triggered another screaming match. Ashley accused him of refusing accountability while Momma D screamed that he created this disaster himself. One cast member later admitted the villa felt emotionally cursed by that point because every conversation somehow became even more destructive than the one before it. Producers desperately attempted wrapping filming for the night, but the chaos refused to die down. Then another shocking twist hit the room after one friend revealed that social media bloggers were already posting leaks about the trip online in real time. Everybody immediately grabbed their phones. Witnesses claimed BAMBI looked horrified seeing headlines describing the meltdown before the night had even ended. Fans online were already taking sides aggressively, with some defending BAMBI while others accused Ashley of intentionally exposing private drama publicly. Emotions ran high as Scrappy realized the scandal was spreading far beyond the villa walls. According to insiders, that realization finally pushed him into panic mode. He allegedly started begging producers not to air certain footage while simultaneously pleading with BAMBI to speak privately away from cameras. But BAMBI refused completely. She reportedly told him she spent too many years protecting his image while sacrificing her own peace emotionally. Ashley stood beside her nodding while Momma D paced around the dining room furious at everybody involved. Then came one final confrontation that allegedly pushed the entire trip past the point of repair. Momma D suddenly blamed Ashley for escalating everything from the beginning and accused her of enjoying watching families fall apart. Ashley instantly fired back that exposing lies was not destroying a family, the lies themselves destroyed it already. Witnesses claimed the screaming became so loud again that resort management threatened to remove the entire production from the property if things did not calm down immediately. Security moved people into separate areas while producers tried convincing cast members to stop arguing long enough for filming schedules to continue the next day. But nobody wanted peace anymore. BAMBI reportedly announced she was leaving the trip early because she could not emotionally survive another second inside that villa. Scrappy looked devastated hearing that and attempted following her upstairs, but she stopped him halfway up the staircase and told him something witnesses said completely broke the atmosphere inside the house. She allegedly looked directly into his eyes and said, "The saddest part is I kept loving you even while you were destroying me." According to insiders, even crew members started crying after hearing that line. Scrappy reportedly stood there speechless while BAMBI disappeared upstairs to pack her things. Ashley followed behind her for support while Momma D remained downstairs emotionally overwhelmed and furious at how badly the family collapsed. The mystery woman quietly left the villa shortly afterwards surrounded by producers and security. Meanwhile, Scrappy stayed alone near the dining table staring at broken glasses, spilled drinks, and overturned chairs from the night's chaos. Witnesses claimed nobody spoke to him for nearly 20 minutes straight. And as the sun slowly started rising outside the mountains, insiders revealed one final rumor that left everybody completely stunned. According to people close to production, somebody inside the cast secretly recorded private conversations from the trip that could expose even more betrayal once the footage leaks online. By sunrise, the villa looked like the aftermath of an emotional hurricane. Broken glasses still covered parts of the dining room floor, makeup wipes and half-packed luggage were scattered across the upstairs hallway, and nobody inside that house looked the same anymore. Witnesses claimed the energy became eerily quiet after hours of non-stop screaming because everybody finally realized the damage could not be undone overnight. BAMBI reportedly stayed locked inside her room for nearly an hour while Ashley sat beside her trying to calm her down emotionally. Insiders claimed BAMBI barely spoke during that time and just stared silently out the window toward the mountains while producers waited downstairs for answers about filming. Meanwhile, Scrappy remained alone near the kitchen looking completely defeated. According to sources close to production, he allegedly kept replaying the entire night in his head while reading the exploding reactions online. Fans are shocked after hashtags connected to the trip started trending before breakfast even began. Social media completely erupted with people debating who betrayed who, whether Momma D made things worse, and if BAMBI should finally walk away for good this time. Emotions ran high as leaked clips from the villa allegedly spread across fan pages within hours. Some viewers accused Scrappy of emotional manipulation while others blamed Ashley for exposing private relationship issues publicly instead of handling them quietly behind the scenes. But almost everybody agreed on one thing. The family was left divided in a way nobody expected. Downstairs, Momma D reportedly broke down emotionally after realizing how far things spiraled out of control. Witnesses claimed she alternated between defending her son and privately admitting she hated seeing the family collapse publicly. One insider even alleged Momma D attempted speaking privately with BAMBI before she left, but the conversation allegedly ended in more tears and frustration. According to people nearby, BAMBI calmly explained that she could not continue living inside constant confusion and emotional exhaustion anymore. Meanwhile, Scrappy tried multiple times to speak with her privately before departure, but sources claimed she refused every attempt. When she finally walked downstairs carrying her luggage, the entire villa reportedly fell silent again. Ashley walked beside her while several cast members stood awkwardly near the entrance unsure what to say. Witnesses claimed Scrappy looked completely heartbroken watching her head toward the front door. Emotions ran high as he allegedly begged her not to leave things this way, but BAMBI stopped briefly, looked back at him, and told him she was tired of loving somebody who only valued her after causing pain. According to insiders, that line left the entire room speechless. Moments later, she walked out of the villa and got into the waiting SUV while cameras continued rolling through the emotional aftermath. Fans online instantly exploded after rumors spread that this may have been the final breaking point for the relationship permanently. But even after BAMBI left, the drama still refused to end. Insiders later claimed producers discovered additional audio recordings from private conversations during the trip that allegedly revealed even deeper betrayals between multiple people connected to the situation. Some sources claimed more secrets could eventually surface once the full footage airs publicly, while others believe certain cast members are already threatening legal action to stop damaging clips from leaking online. Now viewers everywhere are asking the same question. Was this simply one toxic trip gone wrong, or was this the moment an entire family finally collapsed under years of hidden resentment, betrayal, and emotional damage? And perhaps the biggest question of all is whether BAMBI and Scrappy can ever recover from a public explosion this massive after trust was shattered in front of the world. Because according to people close to the cast, relationships behind the scenes may never be the same again after that night from hell. If you enjoyed this shocking story, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because the drama surrounding this family is far from over. And tell us in the comments right now, do you think Scrappy was unfairly attacked by everybody during the trip, or do you believe BAMBI finally reached her breaking point after years of disrespect? Also let us know if Mama D helped protect her family or completely destroyed the situation even more once she arrived. Because one thing is certain. Fans will be talking about this meltdown for a very long time.